Let's dive straight into 3 power verbs. So these are going to be I want, I need, and I have. You're going to find yourself using these types of power verbs all the time. Also, make sure that you're familiar with the vocabulary from First Steps, because we're going to be using a lot of the filler words in this module as well. Make sure that every time I ask a question, you pause the video in order to give yourself the time you need to think out your answer. Always take your time, do it step by step, do it slowly, really think out your answer, and then continue with the video. In order to get the maximum amount of benefit, it's very important that you think out your answers for yourself rather than just listening and repeating. To say I want in Spanish is quiero. So we have QUI for qui and then ero, quiero. In English we have the I here, but Spanish verbs work quite differently. It's actually the O here in the verb that indicates I. So anytime we have a verb with O at the end, it always means the first person, I. So I want would be quiero. Try to say it now for yourself. I want. Quiero. Quiero. To say I want it, we have to change the word order. That would be lo quiero. So in Spanish, they put the it way up front. It, I want. Lo quiero. Try to say it now for yourself. I want it. Lo quiero. To say I don't want it, it would be no lo quiero. So we have no, lo quiero. No lo quiero. Say it now for yourself. I don't want it. No lo quiero. How do you think we would say, I don't want it now? No lo quiero ahora. The word for tomorrow in Spanish is mañana. This N here, ña, has that kind of sound, mañana. How would you say, I want it tomorrow? Lo quiero mañana. What about, I don't want it tomorrow? No lo quiero mañana. The word for today in Spanish is hoy. Hoy. This H, remember, is silent in the pronunciation. Hoy. Try to say, I don't want it tomorrow, I want it today. And remember to pause if you need time to think it out, step by step. No lo quiero mañana, lo quiero hoy. So, no lo quiero, I don't want it. Mañana, tomorrow. No lo quiero mañana. I want it today. Lo quiero, it I want. Hoy, today. The word because in Spanish is porque. So we have por and que. Porque. How would you say, I want it because it is very important? Lo quiero porque es muy importante. So I want it. Lo quiero because, porque, it is very important. Es muy importante. Here's an even longer one. How would you say, I don't want it because it's not very important for me? No lo quiero porque no es muy importante para mí. So, I don't want it. No lo quiero because, porque, it isn't very important. No es muy importante for me, para mí. The word for good in Spanish is bueno. Bueno. How would you say it's good? Es bueno. Try to say, I want it because it's good for me. Lo quiero porque es bueno para mí. I want it, lo quiero, because, porque, it is good. Es bueno for me, para mí. The word for and in Spanish is y, spelled just with a y, has that e sound. Try to say, it is important and I want it tomorrow. Es importante y lo quiero mañana. So it is important. Es importante. And I want it y lo quiero tomorrow, mañana. Try to say, I don't want it like that. No lo quiero así. Do you remember how we had words ending in ARY going to ario in our first steps module? So necessary would become necesario. So we have necesario. It belongs to the category where words ending in ARY go to ario in Spanish. So we have necesario. Try to say, I don't want it because it's not necessary. No lo quiero porque no es necesario. So here we have, I don't want it. No lo quiero because, porque, it isn't or it is not necessary. No es necesario. Try to say, it's necessary and I want it. Es necesario y lo quiero. How would you say, I want it because it's important and necessary? Lo quiero porque es importante y necesario. Lo quiero, I want it. Because, porque, it is important, es importante, and necessary, y necesario. So this stuff is pretty exciting, right? Because verbs give you power in the language. Even with just a few small things, you can start to say quite a lot. And this is the real excitement that we can get from learning verbs. I'll see you now in the second video. Welcome to part 2. To say I need in Spanish is necesito. You can see here ending again in o, so it indicates the first person I need. And we have necesito. Necesito is I need. How do you think you would say I need it? Lo necesito. So exactly the same as I want it. Lo quiero. The word order is always the same with the verbs lo necesito. What about I don't need it? No lo necesito. How would you say I need it now? Lo necesito ahora. I don't need it now. No lo necesito ahora. How would you say, I need it tomorrow? Lo necesito mañana. I don't need it tomorrow. I need it today. No lo necesito mañana. Lo necesito hoy. So I don't need it. No lo necesito. And tomorrow is mañana. I need it today. Lo necesito hoy. How would you say, I need it because it is very important? Lo necesito porque es muy importante. So we have I need it. Lo necesito. It I need. Because porque it is very important. Es muy importante. What about I don't need it because it's not very important for me? No lo necesito porque no es muy importante para mí. No lo necesito. I don't need it. Because porque it isn't very important. No es muy importante for me, para mí. Try to say, I need it because it's good for me. Lo necesito porque es bueno para mí. So we have I need it, lo necesito. Porque, because it is good or it's good, es bueno para mí. What about it is important and I need it tomorrow? Es importante y lo necesito mañana. I don't need it like that. No lo necesito así. The word for tonight in Spanish is literally in the night, en la noche. Noche is a feminine word, which is why we have la noche. So tonight is en la noche. How would you say, I need it tonight? Lo necesito en la noche. I don't need it because it's not necessary. No lo necesito porque no es necesario. So no lo necesito. I don't need it. Porque, because it isn't, no es necessary. Necesario. Try to say, it's necessary and I need it. Es necesario y lo necesito. I need it because it's important and necessary. Lo necesito porque es importante y necesario. Once again, we have I need it, I need. Lo necesito because, porque. It is important, es importante, and necessary, y necesario. How would you say, I want it and I need it? Lo quiero y lo necesito. I'll see you in part 3. Our next power verb is going to be for I have, which in Spanish is tengo. Notice that we have an O at the end of the verb, indicating that it's I, first person. So I have in Spanish is tengo. How would you say I have it? Lo tengo. Literally, it, I have. How would you say I don't have it? No lo tengo. So no lo tengo. What about I have it because it's important? Lo tengo porque es importante. Lo tengo, I have it. Because, porque, it is important, es importante. What about I don't have it because it's not necessary? No lo tengo porque no es necesario. I don't have it, no lo tengo. Because, porque, it isn't or it is not, no es necessary, necesario. To say I'm sorry in Spanish is lo siento. And this is actually a verb. Siento means I feel. Again, we have the o at the end indicating the I'm, okay? And it is lo. So lo siento means I feel it. I feel it is how you say I'm sorry in Spanish. I feel it. Lo siento. Try to say it for yourself. I'm sorry. Lo siento. The word for but is pero. Pero. How would you say, I'm sorry, but? Lo siento, pero. Now try to say, I'm sorry, but I don't have it now. Lo siento, pero no lo tengo ahora. So we have lo siento, I'm sorry, I feel it. Pero, but, I don't have it. No lo tengo. Now is ahora. Try to say, I have it because I need it. Lo tengo porque lo necesito. How would you say, I have it, but I don't want it? Lo tengo, pero no lo quiero. So I have it, lo tengo, it I have. But, pero, I don't want it is simply no lo quiero. Because quiero is I want, lo quiero, I want it, and I don't want it would be no lo quiero. Try to say, I have it, I want it, and I need it. Lo tengo, lo quiero, y lo necesito. In the next video, we're going to mix and match these three verbs together. And some of the sentences I'll give you will be quite long. But as always, just pause the video and think out your answers carefully, step by step. What we're trying to do is build up stamina in our mind to be able to think our way through Spanish, because that is very representative, very realistic of what's going to happen when you are having conversations with native Spanish speakers. So we want to build up that stamina of being able to think out what we're saying step by step without getting panicked and without rushing. Also, I hope that you are taking my advice with pausing the video and thinking out the answers for yourself, because this is where the real magic happens, and what is actually helping you to progress in Spanish is you doing the work by thinking out the answers for yourself. As we go more and more into verbs, you're going to find that there are things here, there, and everywhere just waiting to trip you up. So in the beginning stages, we need to go slowly and carefully so that later on we can increase our speed and our fluency, but do that without making more mistakes so that we'll still be saying it correctly and error-free, but we'll have gained a lot of fluency and speed. So I'll see you in the next video. In part 4, we're going to do a quick mix and match of all that we've been through so far with these verbs. Remember to think out your answers step by step. Don't be in any rush, just take all the time that you need. How would you say, I'm sorry, but I need it tomorrow? Lo siento, pero lo necesito mañana. It's important for me and I want it now. Es importante para mí y lo quiero ahora. I want it today because I need it. Lo quiero hoy porque lo necesito. I don't want it now because it's not important. No lo quiero ahora porque no es importante. I need it because it's very good. Lo necesito porque es muy bueno. It's very important for me and I want it today. Es muy importante para mí y lo quiero hoy. I don't have it because I don't want it. No lo tengo porque no lo quiero. It's not important and I don't need it. No es importante y no lo necesito. See you in part 5. Let's return back to our power verb of want. And I'd like to get into now he, she, and it wants. So all of that, he wants, she wants, it wants, is quiere. So we have quiere. But obviously you tie it all together, quiere, quiere. Remember that quiero was I want. But for he, she, or it wants, it's quiere. So the only difference is the ending. If we have an o, quiero, that's indicating I want. But if the verb ends in an e like this, quiere, now it means he wants, she wants, and it wants. Now say it for yourself. He wants, she wants, or it wants, it's all quiere. How would you say he wants it? Lo quiere. So this works in exactly the same way as I wanted lo quiero, but now it's for he, she, or it. Lo quiere. What about he doesn't want it? No lo quiere. You can see it's the same principle as before with I. I want it, lo quiero. I don't want it, no lo quiero. Here we have he wants it, lo quiere, or he doesn't want it, no lo quiere. What about asking? Does he want it? Here remember the key is to use intonation in your voice. So try to ask in Spanish, does he want it? Lo quiere. The word order remains the same, whether or not you're making a statement or asking a question. So he wants it, a statement, lo quiere. Does he want it? A question. ¿Lo quiere? How would you say she wants it? Lo quiere. So he wants it, she wants it, it wants it. It's all quiere. The word urgent ends in ENT. So it qualifies as one of our cognates that we covered in first steps. Can you remember or try to guess how to say urgent in Spanish? Urgente. We have an important pronunciation tip to take notice of here, because it's not urgente, but this GE has a H sound, gente. So it's urgente, urgente. Try to say, she wants it now because it's urgent. Lo quiere ahora porque es urgente. So she wants it, lo quiere. Now, ahora, because it's urgent. Porque es urgente. What about it's urgent and he wants it tomorrow? Es urgente y lo quiere mañana. We're beginning with it's urgent, es urgente, y lo quiere, and he wants it. Mañana, tomorrow. The word for what in Spanish is que. Literally like a que sound in English. We have an accent over the E. Que. How would you say, what does he want? ¿Qué quiere? Remember that quiere is he wants, she wants, it wants. So we simply have what he wants. ¿Qué quiere? How would you say, does she want it? Lo quiere. Again, quiere stands for she wants, and it. So we're simply using intonation to ask a question. Does she want it is simply lo quiere. Literally, she wants it. Because in Spanish, we don't use this does she, does he, does it. It's actually simpler. So simply just lo quiere. What about she wants it tonight because it's very important? Lo quiere en la noche porque es muy importante. So she wants it, lo quiere, tonight, remember, is in the night, en la noche. Porque, because it is very important. Es muy importante. In this video now, we've moved away from first person, I want, I need, I have, and we're starting to go into other points of view. He wants, she wants, it wants, things like that. But we're still working with our 3 power verbs. To finish out this series, I just want to add in one more video. So I'll see you in part 6. For part 6, I'd like to return back to the verb have. And we're going to get into he has, she has, and it has. All of that is expressed with tiene. So you have tiene, tiene. An interesting pattern happens here because quiere is he to want, right? He wants, she wants, it wants. And now we have a very similar sound in tiene for he has, she has, and it has. So both of these, as you can see, ending in an E. Quiere and tiene. How would you say she has it? Lo tiene. Remember, this could also be he has it or it has it. Lo tiene. What about she has it for me? Lo tiene para mí. The word for a book in Spanish is un libro. Un libro. Try to say, she has a book for me. Tiene un libro para mí. So tiene, she has a book, un libro for me, para mí. Try to say, I'm sorry, but he doesn't have it today. Lo siento, pero no lo tiene hoy. So, I'm sorry, but lo siento, pero he doesn't have it. No lo tiene. Because tiene, he has. Lo tiene, he has it. No lo tiene, he doesn't have it. Hoy, today. Lo siento, pero no lo tiene hoy. Try to say, I'm sorry, but he doesn't have the book. Lo siento, pero no tiene el libro. I'm sorry, but lo siento, pero he doesn't have, no tiene, the book, el libro. What about he has it, but he doesn't want it that way? Lo tiene, pero no lo quiere así. So we have he has it, lo tiene, but, pero, he doesn't want it, no lo quiere, like that, así. Remember not to get confused by the does and the doesn't, because we don't have that in Spanish. It's a lot simpler, the form. So we simply have lo tiene, he has it, but he doesn't want it is simply no lo quiere, he wants it not, like that, así. Try to say, what does he have? ¿Qué tiene? So what is ¿qué? He has, tiene, ¿qué tiene? And very often in Spanish, that's how they ask, what's wrong? So if someone says, ¿qué tiene? And they're talking about Erica, they're saying, what's wrong with Erica? ¿Qué tiene? In the next video, we're going to go for a big power push and enter into a new module. And your capacity for using verbs to express what you want to say is going to increase tenfold, even 100-fold. I think you're going to find it amazing at just how powerful verbs make you. Even when you're just working with 5 to 10 verbs, it's going to give you a lot of now added power to express yourself with new sentences in Spanish. And I'm very excited to be able to bring it to you up next.